Hi, Aston here from Now Spinning Magazine with another episode of Chart Watch and new release news. And it's special for a number of reasons, and one of them is that this show is now going to go out as an audio podcast as well. So if you can't catch up on the YouTube channel, this will also be available as a podcast on Apple Music, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and anywhere else you could possibly think of. So welcome to everyone who's just listening for the first time, and welcome to my regulars who watch this on the website and on YouTube and across the other social media channels like Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. Now in this show I look at the UK album charts and pick one or two artists where I look at the breakdown between streaming and physical sales, specifically CD and vinyl. And this is all being fed into episode 3 of Why CDs Still Rock, which will come out over the Christmas period. So if you're new to Now Spinning Magazine, make sure you subscribe whether you're watching or listening so you don't miss out on any future episodes. But in this one I'm also going to look at the singles chart. Really? I am. And it's because I've been saying the last couple of weeks how for people that stream, the date music comes out and its age and stuff is becoming less and less important as young people just move from one track to the next. They're not thinking about, gosh, this track's 5 years old, or it's from 1972, or it's from 2 weeks ago. It's just music. And the singles chart this week really illustrates this. Now I'm not going to go down the whole top 75, but I'm just going to pick out some things that for some of you youngsters or people of my vintage will go, really? That's gone back in the singles charts? Oh yes. So hold on to your seats and here we go, and let's see how many of these you remember, and also I'll give a little summary before we move on to the album charts as well. So a re-entry at number 75 is Burl Ives and A Holy Jolly Christmas. Here you go. And number 74 is Maisie Peters with Together This Christmas. At number 71 is a re-entry from the 70s with Mud and Lonely This Christmas. Isn't it kind of comforting to know that Mud are back in the charts? Michael Bublé is at number 68 with Let It Snow. Michael Bublé's in here quite a few times, to be honest. Sam Ryder, who I'm going to talk about in a moment in the album charts, is at number 66 with a new entry with Jingle Bells. Bing Crosby is in with White Christmas at number 63. That's up from number 67 last week. Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 with Santa Claus Is Coming to Town is at number 62. Nat King Cole is in number 56, up 20 places with The Christmas Song. Coldplay are at number 52 with Christmas Lights. Frank Sinatra is in with Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow. And this is one of two entries with the same song in the top 75 this week. So that's Frank Sinatra, number 49. Kelly Johnson and Ariana Grande at Santa Can You Hear Me is at number 47. Darlene Love with Christmas Baby Please Come Home is at number 45. Justin Bieber, Mistletoe is at number 44. And the Sidemen with Christmas Drillings is at number 41. Just outside the top 40, but at number 38 is Slade, Noddy and the Boys with Merry Christmas Everybody, which is up 36 to just, well, it's dropped 2 places. Noddy, Slade fans. I bought that 12-inch single, and that's at number 38. Sia and Snowman is at number 37. John and Yoko and the Plastic Ono Band with Happy Christmas Everybody is at number 35. Michael Bublé is his second entry with Holy Jolly Christmas. So that's Burl Ives is in there as that well. So there's quite a few songs here doubling up. That's number 33. The Ronettes and Sleigh Ride at number 32. And Leona Lewis, One More Sleep at number 31. Dean Martin is at number 29, zooming up beyond Frank Sinatra with the same song, Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow. And then we're up to 24 with Paul McCartney in A Wonderful Christmas Time. And then Wizard, Roy Wood. What a guy. I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day is at number 23, up from last week's number 28. So way ahead of Slade if this was the early 70s. Elton John with Step Into Christmas is at number 21. Chris Rea with Driving Home for Christmas is at number 20. And Andy Williams, It's the Most Wonderful Time, is at number 19. It's great to see all these kind of easy listening people from my parents' period of being on the planet, and their music being around as well. It's just lovely. Band-Aid is at number 16 with Do They Know It's Christmas. Ariana Grande with Santa Tell Me at number 14. And Shakin' Stevens with Merry Christmas Everyone is at number 13. And Bobby Helms with Jingle Bell Rock, great track, is at number 11. And now we enter the top 10 with the Pogues and Christy McCall with Fairy Tale of New York as at number 9. Up from last week's number 14. Michael Bublé again with It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas. It certainly is. At number 7. Number 5, Brenda Lee, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree at number 5. Ed Sheeran and Elton John at number 4 with Merry Christmas. And number 2, Mariah Carey and All I Want for Christmas. So what is number 1 in the singles chart this week? It is Wham! And Last Christmas. Wow. and just for the statisticians out there, so Wham's Last Christmas has made it with 48,535 sales, of which 1,000 of those were downloads and 47,530 were equivalent streams, which I've explained how that's worked out recently. And physical sales, are you ready, is 1. Okay. Total sales to date for this song is 3,137,950. And obviously during that period it sold probably a lot of physical sales. Anyway, so that was the singles chart. And isn't it, I think the reason why I wanted to mention that is that as I went through that, some of you might be thinking, it's like walking around a shop with the Christmas music on in the background. It's like going around the supermarket and they just have this piped Christmas songs. It is, isn't it? It's like a playlist. It's just like as if everyone's just gone on and they're streaming Christmas. They're just clicking on Christmas playlists, and of course all these are racking up as virtual sales, and that's why you've got a top 75 that is like the greatest Christmas album ever made kind of scenario, isn't it? Anyway, albums. So what's in at number 1? It is, of course, our Eurovision winner, Sam Ryder, who's done incredibly well, from being discovered on TikTok, and his voice is just absolutely stunning. So when his first album was going to come out, it was almost inevitable it was going to get to number 1, and it has. It's gone straight in at number 1. And many of you will be thinking, well, what is the breakdown of sales for this? Because I do this every week, especially with the number 1 position and sometimes the number 2 as well. But I'm going to focus just on Sam's this week, because the album is called There's Nothing But Spaceman, and as a rocket it's gone straight into number 1. The sales is 24,847 albums totally, of which physical sales out of that were literally 19,987. Let's call it 20,000. So literally 20,000 out of 24,000 required to get to number 1, but physical, hold in your hand music sales. How does that break down between CD and vinyl? Well, CDs was 15,921. Should we call it 16k? Near enough, innit? And for vinyl albums, it was 2,651. So literally 16,000 CDs next to 2,651 vinyl albums. So CD there absolutely blew everything else out of the water. There were also 1,414 cassettes, 3,052 downloads, and 1,809 sales equivalent streams. Michael Bublé, because I know one of my subscribers wanted to know how he was doing in the album chart. He's doing pretty well. He's still at number, where is he? He's at number 4 with steady sales of about 12,000 a week. Also in the top 10, sticking around, is obviously Taylor Swift. He's literally bubbling around between 1 and 3 almost every week. And Cliff Richard is still in there with a fan base that just keeps buying as we build up towards Christmas with his Christmas album. Bruce Springsteen's album has stayed up in the top 10 pretty well, to be honest, and it's still there now. We have a new entry from Razorlight with about 2,419 sales, and that has gone in at number 49. Echo and the Bunnymen, also a re-entry, one of their back catalogue albums, Evergreen, which is in at 2,351 sales. And also a re-entry at number 57 is Dark Side of the Moon. And the other thing I just want to touch on before I move on, is overall sales and compilation sales. Obviously now, this is what I call Music 113. It's probably going to be there until now. That's what I call Music 114 appears. But it's still the number one compilation for the fourth week in a row, with 7,312 sales, of which 6,952 are CDs. It's like a playlist in your pocket, is it not? Overall, album sales were down 2.71% on week, looking at a year ago. However, it's actually all good news in a way, because let me just see if I can find this. Yes, so we have sales of 2,309,472. Now, physical sales of that, when I say that, I mean CD, vinyl and cassette, equals 628,993. That is 28.19% of the total. That's even higher than last week. So literally heading towards 30% of all the album sales are on physical releases, CD and vinyl. I think that's absolutely amazing. The amount of people that love music and love to collect and be connected and have that tactile feeling of listening, touching and just being with the artist. Buy a CD and buy an album, buy whatever it is, and support music, support the creators. Absolutely brilliant. And just to touch on that, I also have the top 20 of the official record store chart. Now this is CDs, vinyl and cassette through the 100 top UK outlets, so that'll be anyone that sells physical products really. Number 1 is obviously Sam Ryder, Echo and the Bunnymen. Number 2, Voice of the Beehive. Number 3, Sam Fender. 4, Idols at number 5, Oscar Jerome at number 6, Razorlight in at number 7, Leftfield 8, Queens of the Stone Age are new in at number 9 with Like Clockwork. Number 10 is Shard Ward with Anthology. Number 11, The Fontaines, Arctic Monkeys. Number 12, Wet Leg. Number 13, Yard Act. 14, Taylor Swift is still in there at number 15. Fleetwood Mac and Rumours. You know, the sad passing of Kristen McVie, and people still love the physical idea that buying Rumours. Every home should have one. I've got about 3 of them. But these sales will be new fans discovering and wanting to have such a magical album in their home. Queens of the Stone Age have 2 albums in the physical album release chart, and that's also with Villains and Loyal Kana with Hugo's at number 18, Danger Mouse with Cheap Codes number 19, and The Smile at number 20. So moving on now to new release news. Now there's not as much this week, because obviously we're heading towards the Christmas festive period, so most things are either out or being held back. So news is quite slim on the ground at the moment. The only ones I really want to mention is Bret Michaels and A Salute to Poison, and this is a reissue of his 2001 solo album, which finds Bret covering some of his early career highlights, and it has basically lots of Poison tracks on there. It's got new artwork, and they're calling it 80s glam metal super vibe, but nothing but a good time. Fallen Angel, Every Rose Has Its Thorn, Look What the Cat Dragged In. So again, that looks interesting, and that is due. I think it's in March. Lynch Mob have got an album reissue out as well from their 2015 album, and that comes out at the end of February. The other one that I'm also looking at is UFO, and it's Werewolves of London. Now this is a live album that I missed out on at the time. This one comes out, it could be next April, I think, or it could even be the 13th of May, looking at the stuff I've been sent to me. And this is seen by the press release as a monumental 1998 concert extravaganza performed by the newly reunited lineup of the legendary British rock band UFO. This is special because Schenker's on it. Michael Schenker is on this, and it has tracks like Push the Limit, which is like from Walk on the Water, which is a fantastic UFO album, very hard to find now. So Venus is on that, Self-Made Man, and lots of tracks on that album. Obviously the obvious ones are on there as well, but that will be on my list because that's another album that's quite hard to find. The Small Faces, I've got There Are But Four, and Ogden's is coming out 2 CD deluxe editions. Porcupine Tree, Closure Continuation, Music for Nations, The Long Riders, Iggy Pop, and Roger Waters' The Lockdown album is also coming out. But that's basically it for this week, for this week's Chart Watch. So before you go, make sure you subscribe, watch these videos if you're watching this on YouTube, or click on the other buttons to watch the other podcasts if you're listening on the No Spinning Magazine podcast. And if you'd like to support what we do here, then become a patron. And you can cancel at any time, but it really supports what we do on this channel and on the No Spinning Magazine website. So take care, everybody. Keep spinning those records, whether they're CDs or vinyl or even the humble cassette. And thank you for being here, and I shall look forward to seeing you on my next show.